Welcome to Purana Talk. It's Alan, Leon. We read the Puranas, and we're in the Garuda Purana right now.
We've been reading section 1 of the Garuda Purana since before we started recording these. We've only read section 1 until today, and we'll read section 1 again today. But it's the last chapter. We finally got there. I flipped ahead, and I practically, I almost plotzed. How about that? Chapter 240. Lord Hari said, O Rudra, I have narrated to you the Garuda Purana, the essence of all knowledge. It brings joy to the listener and brings about his release. It confers learning, fame, glory, wealth, victory, and health. O Rudra, he who reads or hears the Purana becomes omniscient and goes to heaven. Too bad you tuned in the middle, huh?
You can go back to some extent.
Brahma said, O Vyasa. They switched narration. Hari was speaking, who is Vishnu, and now Brahma is speaking. O Vyasa, I have heard this Purana from the mouth of Vishnu. It surely brings about liberation to the hearer. Vyasa said, thus Brahma, who had heard the Purana from the mouth of Vishnu, related it to Daksha, Narada, and others, including myself. I had gone to Vishnu Loka with my mind set on Brahman. I heard this Purana and later on imparted the same to Suta. Now you have heard the same from the mouth of Suta. On hearing the Purana, the person attains omniscience, satiates his desire, reaps the fruits in the form of realizing the self. This Purana, the essence of all knowledge, Vishnu related to Garuda.
Now it's interesting. I received a manuscript called Omniscience a few weeks ago. Just so you know.
There's always something weirdly relevant about the passage, and it's just a little bibliomantic thing. But this has sort of gone through a really complicated little narrative structure here. It's the window opens with Lord Hari speaking to Rudra. Hari is speaking, Vishnu is speaking to Shiva and telling him this.
That he's finished with the Purana, basically.
Okay, I'm finishing the Purana, and then immediately it switches to Brahma saying, so this is how I heard
Vyasa.
It. Oh, Vyasa, I've heard this Purana from the mouth of Vishnu.
Right.
But Brahma wasn't there. It was Shiva listening to Vishnu. And then Vyasa says, anyway, that's what Brahma, I heard the Purana from the mouth of Vishnu, related it to Daksha, Narada, and others, including me.
And then Suta comes
in.
Well,
Suta, because Vyasa's, Suta's a disciple of Vyasa. And one of the progenitors of the Puranas. All right, anyway, and ultimately it all goes back to Vishnu telling it to Garuda.
Right.
Suta said, this Purana contains the essence of all knowledge and confers dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, conventionally thought of as the 4 ends of life, the 4 goals: dharma, spirituality, artha, wealth, kama, erotic enjoyment, and moksha, liberation.
Right.
So, in olden days, Vyasa narrated to me this Purana, which he had heard from Brahma. Vyasa, who had divided a single Veda into 4 Vedas. He divided the single Purana Sanghita into 18 Sanghitas. Shuka, the son of Vyasa, has narrated to me this fact, and I have related to you this Purana, O Shaunika. Now Shaunika is being spoken to by Suta. Since you have asked me to narrate the Purana to the sages, I have done so. one who reads or hears or hires the services of a pundit to recite it to others, or writes it himself, or hires the service of a scribe to write it out, or keeps the Purana at home, attains dharma, artha, kama, or moksha, whatever may be the choice. What, you gotta choose? This isn't fair. He satiates.
Well, if you read it, you get them all. But if you just have it laying around, you only get
pick one. He satiates his desire by listening to this Purana. If he is a Brahmin, he attains the knowledge of the Vedas. If a Kshatriya, he is conferred the strength of protection. None of the other classes, Vaishya or Shudra, is authorized to hear the Purana. If by mistake he narrates it to an unworthy person, he becomes an object of censure. But if he narrates the Purana from behind the screen, then both the deserving and the undeserving person become worthy to hear.
Because he didn't intentionally break the rule.
He didn't know for sure it was a Vaishya or a Shudra.
And of course, we're outside the caste, so we're already in trouble. And so it doesn't matter.
Well, we're experiencing it through the screen of this form of transmission. Yeah. It's a very obscuring screen sometimes. The translation can be yeah.
It's always preferable to have the original so that you can argue with the translation. That's all. It's very
helpful to have the translation.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Okay. So if he's a Brahmin, he attains the knowledge of the Vedas. If a Kshatriya, he's conferred the strength of protection. So the Brahmins are the priests, and the Kshatriyas are the rulers and military, and
right. So they need protecting.
Yep. None of the others, Vaishya or Shudra, is authorized to hear them, but if they're taught by a guy that's sitting behind a screen, it's a no. 15. As Vishnu is a celebrated deity, Garuda is a venerable celebrity. In praising Garuda, we praise Vishnu. By singing praise for Garuda, formerly King Vasu satiated his desires. King Vasu said, "Homage to Garuda of irresistible might, the vehicle of Vishnu, the emblem in the banner of Vishnu, and a terror to the Asuras. Homage to you, the destroyer of the pride of the Nagas, the nourisher of joy to his mother Vinita, possessed of beautiful wings, guileless refuge of the piteous Asuras." Now listen to a story. This is 18. Once Supratika and Vibhavasu, the two brothers, cursed each other, and as a result of curses they were born as the elephant and the tortoise. They had immense bodily height as well as breadth. In their struggle for superiority over each other, you acted as a judge. You released them from the accursed curse which they had inflicted upon each other. You swallowed the nishadas in large proportion. When by mistake you swallowed a pious Brahmana, you vomited him alive immediately on knowing that he was a Brahmin. 22. You broke the bough of a banyan tree spread over 100 yojanas, regardless of the fact that it supported the Balakilyas. The Balakilyas. We've encountered them before. Now, there's some sort of strange godling or, like musical deity like Gandharvas or something like that. I've forgotten now if I ever knew. 23. With mighty effort you seized the elephant and the tortoise, put them in the navel of your thumb while they were fighting in the supportless sky. You conquered the gods together with their leader Indra, O son of Kashyapa. You extinguished the sacrificial fire and carried away the Soma forcibly. There were two poisonous serpents who could inject poison by their very sight. You made them sightless by your magical skill. Out of devotion for Vishnu, you brought Soma from heaven. You did not partake of it yourself. You therefore got a place of honor in the banner of Vishnu and became his vehicle. You concealed Soma in the Darba grass and deceived the Nagas. You carried nectar to the abode of Brahma and distributed the same among the gods. O best of birds, by you the tongue of the Nagas, the tongue, I bet, spelled with a Q. The tongue of the Nagas was split into two. They're serpents.
Mm-hmm.
You released your mother from Kadru, the mother of the Nagas, who had made her a slave. They say that the horse, Uchashravas, is white in complexion, but I believe he is dark, for his glory is diminished. In the interest of your mother, you had cut off his wings with the stroke of Indra's thunderbolt. When God Indra saw your mighty deed, he bestowed upon you the title of honor, Suparna. By merely meditating on you, one destroys the effect of poison of whatsoever sort. When one hears or reads the Purana gets sensuous pleasure and release. One who hears or reads the Purana gets sensuous pleasure and release.
Extra charge.
All this and a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Suta said, King Vasu heard the Garuda Purana and satiated his desire. The venerable Garuda meditated on Vishnu and obtained the objects of his desire. Suta said, I have narrated to you the sacred treatise, the Garuda Purana. He who reads this Purana achieves the objects of his desire and ultimately reaches the supreme goal. By reciting even a quarter of verse, one destroys sins. He who keeps the treatise at home obtains everything in this world. He who possesses this Purana attains all that is just. He who reads and hears this Purana enjoys sensuous pleasures and gets also release. By listening to this Purana, he attains dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Desiring a son, he obtains son. Desiring an object, he obtains the object. Desiring knowledge, he obtains knowledge. Desiring victory, he obtains victory. If he has killed a Brahmin, he's absolved of that sin. Yeah, it always seems to be hunting season on Brahmins. I know that's not the intention, but there's sure a lot of remedies for the sin of killing a Brahmin.
Yeah.
I'd be locking the door at night.
I would. Yeah. If you had a lot.
Or you'd just be a very good Brahmin. Okay, 39. A barren woman obtains son. A girl, a good husband. Desiring welfare, he obtains welfare. Seeking pleasure, he obtains pleasure. Desiring auspiciousness, he obtains auspiciousness. Desiring merit, he receives merit. Desiring to be a poet, he becomes a poet. Desiring to learn the secret of knowledge, he obtains the secret of knowledge. Desirous of knowledge, he obtains knowledge that puts an end to his cycle of birth. This auspicious narrative of the Garuda Purana narrated by Garuda himself is associated with bliss. By reading even a single verse, one escapes an untimely death. If he reads half a verse, he achieves the end of his wicked foes. At Naimisha, at the sacrifice of sages, Shaunika heard the Purana from Suta. He meditated upon Brahman, identifying his self with the Supreme Self, and got release. So ends Khanda 1 of the Garuda Purana. Words of wisdom?
Well, the thing that comes to mind is how there was the long prayer to Garuda, which we haven't seen that much. Like the Garuda Purana, you'd think there'd be a lot of stuff to Garuda, but there hasn't been that much.
There was a little at the beginning.
There was some, but not Not that much,
Yeah.
considering how many pages. And you've got this idea that if you're really devoted to him, to Garuda, it'll go immediately to Vishnu. Right? So he's sort of the back door, something like that.
That's one way of putting it.
To Vishnu. It's, if you want to get the message through, you give it to Garuda.
Yes. Well, and it's often recognized that we, they're sort of like high mucky muck bureaucrats. Sometimes it's better to work through an intermediary than to try to address them directly and
Sure.
put down because you're.
Well, and they're high potency items. You don't want to necessarily go right up to.
This is true. Sometimes Garuda says, "Yeah, I can take care of that. Does not bother Vishnu." And anyway,
especially poison, apparently.
Yeah.
And there was that long section in the Ayurvedic section about poison and remedies for poison.
Mm-hmm.
And Garuda did come up in that as well.
Yeah, he's definitely associated with poison, and that may also just be because he's seen as an enemy of snakes, and snakes are considered associated with poison, and so he's antithetical.
It's not like all snakes are poisonous, but
no,
but some are.
Some are, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, very good. I think one of the things that you guys didn't get the benefit of was the earliest part of the Purana, because we weren't recording them yet. But it's worth reading. We can recommend get it from Motilal.
Yeah, well, and especially since the bottom line here is if you even just have the thing in your house, you're gonna,
great things will happen.
Great things will happen. Whatever you like. So you can just
go to great things happen.
Motilal Banarsi Das, spelled just like it sounds. Motilal Banar. There's a few. Banarsidas. You just Google it and go to their website. You can buy it from them. You can trust them.
They're good.
They're good. And it's loads of fun. And just having it in your house.
It's 4 volumes, I think, right?
Maybe.
I think we're on the 2nd or 3rd volume.
Yeah, something like that.
So
it might be 3 volumes. It might
maybe only 3.
It might be 2. No, this is part 2. Well, this might be all the rest of it, though. No, I think the second part is short.
Maybe.
Will you go find me another one? It's
well, they're over there.
Volume 14. We'll settle this.
We'll see each other.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good whatever direction you're going.